I see your argument. I understand where you're coming from. To be honest, I was torn between him and who I'm going to pick, Derek Jeter of the Yankees. I mean, he's a veteran in this game. He's 35. He's still putting up impressive numbers, like across the board. He broke Lou Gehrig's all-time Yankee hits record, and he's only had 8 errors so far this season. So not only is his offense great, but his defense is still remarkable too. And like you said, the key word here is valuable. And I think you can't think of the Yankees as, without Derek Jeter. He's a very valuable asset to that team, and he has been in the past.
Lauren, I agree. But if you take Derek Jeter away from the Yankees, I think they still make the playoffs. You take Joe Mauer out of the equation, the Twins aren't going to the playoffs.
Very solid points all around, but let's move on to the MVP of the pitchers, the Cy Young Award. Aaron, who's your pick from the mound?
All right, National League again. I mean, the Cardinals are scary good. They got the MVP, and they have the top 2 people for Cy Young. I'm going to personally go with Chris Carpenter, my man for Cy Young winner. I think he's 17-4. He leads the league in ERA with a 2.24 ERA, and he has less run support than Wainwright. So for me, I have to pick Chris Carpenter. I think he's the best pitcher in the National League.
I agree. Once again, I think we have a great race here between these 2 Cardinals pitchers, but I'm going to have to go with Wainwright because when you look at it, it comes down to ERA versus wins, and in baseball, you got to win, and Wainwright has more wins.
Good point.
So, I mean, he didn't get his 20th win this past weekend, but I still think he's a strong candidate in the running for this. And
there's also another giant of a pitcher out there, no pun intended, Tim Lincecum, another candidate for the Cy Young.
I think it's down to Wainwright and Carpenter, personally. I think you agree, but you're right. Lincecum won it last year. He has a chance. American League, a little bit tougher. I think it's down to Zach Greinke from the Royals, and Felix Hernandez from the Mariners. Yes, CC Sabathia has 19 wins. So does Justin Verlander, but so does Felix Hernandez, and I think he's just a slightly better pitcher than them. These guys have very similar numbers: 2.16 ERA for Greinke, 2.49 for Hernandez, 16-8 for Greinke with his record, 19-5 for Hernandez, and 242 strikeouts for Greinke, 217 for Hernandez. Similar numbers, but I think it comes down to the fact that Greinke pitched for the Royals. The Royals, I mean, if he pitches for any team that's got a winning record, not even a playoff team, he pitches for a team with a winning record, he's easily got 20 wins this season. I think he's by far the best pitcher in the American League.
I agree with you completely, but the thing that scares me about him, I picked him too. He's my pick all the way, but the Royals are out of playoff contention. So I'm hoping that's not held against him in any way. I mean, he does have a great ERA, and he's got the lowest run support in the league, so that's impressive that he's putting up numbers with, like you said, the Royals. So I just hope the fact that they're out of playoff contention doesn't hurt him in this.
Very solid points, guys. We have 2 one-on-one rookies here. So who is your rookie for baseball?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and take, in the National League, Andrew McCutchen. How can you not pick a guy who looks this good? Just kidding. I think he's an explosive player. I think he's got 22 stolen bases, only thrown out 5 times. He's got 286 average, 12 home runs, 54 RBIs. He's a good player. He's got speed and power, and he is the single tiny bit of hope in a poor baseball town.
Very true. Very exciting player.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. I'm going to go with a pitcher from my hometown team, Jay Happ of the Phillies. And when I was thinking about this pick, I didn't even consider him a rookie because he's pitching like a veteran on a team that, they really don't give their pitchers many runs to work with. And I think that's extremely impressive, especially in Philadelphia's ballpark, which is a hitter's park. He's kept his ERA under 3 the entire season, and he's got the best ERA on the team. He's their most consistent pitcher. So I think if I had to pick a pitcher of Rookie of the Year, he would definitely be it.
Good pick. I'm going to take a similar stance in the American League, and I'm going to go ahead and take Rick Porcello. Another guy who really he's pitched the whole season like a veteran. You know that because he pitched in the Tigers and Twins playoff to get into the playoffs themselves. He went 5 2/3, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts. That's a really good outing. For a 20-year-old, that's a great outing.
That's impressive.
I mean, I think he's got the veteran feel to him. He's pitched really well. A lot of what you said, he's carried his team. Other than Justin Verlander, he's been the anchor in their rotation. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and take Porcello out of the American League.
I think that's a good pick. My pick is actually a 21-year-old, so it's funny that we both picked very young players.
Well, they are rookies.
This is true. It's just funny to think that someone my age is being considered for Rookie of the Year.
True.
But anyway, my pick is Elvis Andrus of the Rangers.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, he's already forced Gold Glove winner shortstop Michael Young to move over to third base. I mean, that says a lot right there in his rookie season. And, you know, his offense is great too. And he's got a lot of upside to him, I think. And like we were talking about earlier, he's a name that you're going to hear in years to come.
Very solid points by both of you. And thanks, guys. We have to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because when we return, Springs ventures into the hot corner with Robert Warner.